Thank you, sir. Now I request the authors, Dr. R.K. Srivastava and Dr. Vandana Tare, to come on the dais. Well, delegates, now we will discuss paper number 587 and 590. Well, paper number 587 is a study of composite effects of concrete base in rigid pavements for village roads in alluvial region by R.K. Srivastava, K.K. Shukla and S.K. Duggal. The main author, Dr. R.K. Srivastava, is a graduate in civil engineering from MMM Engineering College, Gorakhpur in 1975. Postgraduate in applied mechanics from the MNR Engineering College, Allahabad in 1988, and has completed his PhD in structure study of rigid pavement for village road in alluvial region in 2012. He has worked as assistant professor and visiting faculty in the Government College of Architecture. He has also worked on various capacities in UP PWD. Presently, he is the engineer-in-chief in UP PWD. The co-author, Professor K.K. Shukla, Applied Mechanics Department, MNNIT, Allahabad, and Professor S.K. Duggal, Civil Engineer Department, MNNIT, Allahabad. Now I request our chairman to please take over the session.
My esteemed colleagues on the dais and my esteemed co-chairman and all the learned audience here, it's indeed a matter of immense pleasure to be with all of you and for all of us to participate in discussing, in listening to and in discussing these two very promising, very interesting papers. We have Dr. Srivastava, a doctorate in Public Works Department, which once upon a time was rare, but now fortunately is becoming more and more heard of. We have many doctorates in the department, and I am very immensely pleased that we have an engineer-in-chief in Uttar Pradesh who is a doctorate. This gap between academics and the field needs to be really bridged. And one way is for those in the field not to say bye to academics once we get into the field, to keep our academic contacts alive by continuing our studies. I am also immensely happy to have the two co-authors of Dr. Srivastava, who are not on the dais, but all the same are part of this effort. Professor Shukla and Professor Duggal of the Motilal Nehru National Institute of Technology in Allahabad, which as of all of us know, is one of the renowned national institutes of technology. I also have the pleasure of having Professor Vandana Tare from Indore and her co-authors, Professor Golia, and PhD students, Mr. Batare and Mr. Masharam. Are they here? Are the two PhD students here? No, I see. So we have on hand two very promising and two very interesting papers. I have gone through them very carefully. As a member of the Karnataka Rural Road Agency ever since its founding, and as all of us, I'm sure, most of us have rural roots. Those who are urban also have rural roots. and Prime Minister's Gram Sadak Yojana, of which we should be immensely proud, which is one of the flagship projects of our country, of which our entire country should be very rightfully proud. The largest ever such road project undertaken by anyone in the world, which once begun will not conclude until all our villages are connected with all-weather roads. And the methodology that has been brought in by PMJSY through the NRRDA, National Rural Road Development Agency, and the State Rural Road Development Agency, both in designs, in quality control, in implementation, in monitoring, have really opened a new chapter on how to manage projects so that they produce lasting results. Most of you are aware of them. But let's not think that here are national highways and state highways and major district roads, and that is all there is to the road sector. That's only the tip of the iceberg. The real challenge of this country's roads is in the rural roads. If there is 30,000 kilometers of state highways and major district roads in a state, and 3,000 kilometers of national highways, there is 1.5 lakh kilometers of rural roads. So with NRRDA and PMJSY and persons like eminent authors here who have taken interest in the rural roads, we are indeed in for a treat, technical treat on these two papers. First we'll request Dr. Srivastava to present his paper on the study of composite effect of the concrete base and the rigid wearing coat for village roads, especially in alluvial region. The sum and substance of this paper is the NRRDA uses the immense technical knowledge fund of and the capacity of Indian Roads Congress to develop standards, special publications for them. And SP 62 2004 was one such which was produced. And the SP 62 recommends rigid pavements for village roads, where you have a lean concrete base and you have M30 concrete wearing course. And between the two, there is 130 micron separation layer of polythene. This very interesting paper of Dr. Srivastava has investigated, and he will present before us what will be the result if this separation layer is removed. Will the lean concrete base and the concrete wearing coat, will they act as a composite unit? And what results will it lead to? How will it lead to economy, etc.? A very interesting investigation. I request Dr. Srivastava to present it. We have two papers and we have time till 1:30. We request each paper author to take 30 minutes, and then we'll have 15 minutes for floor interaction. I know 15 minutes is hardly adequate. I also know 30 minutes is hardly adequate for the author, but that is it, and so be it. You can always interact with him later. And then the second paper, I request Professor Tare to take 30 minutes and 15 minutes for interaction. May I request Dr. Srivastava?
Namaskar. My co-authors are not available here because of some official engagement. As this is a very, Chairman already stated that this is a very important topic of the village roads. In Uttar Pradesh, we have 2 lakhs kilometer of the system of the village roads, which facing the problem of the construction as well as maintenance. So, when this IRC SP 62 to 2004 has been has come to picture, this is very important thing for us, because before 2004 we are using same code for the village road as well as for the state highways and national highways. This work was conducted and study on the basis of some available literature of different codes and articles, technical magazines and observations in the fields. Some data we have taken from our quality promotion cell, PPW Lucknow. As we know, large population of India live in villages where their livelihood depend upon their culture. Industrial growth is also shifting towards the villages. Both of these activities require a better means of communication, which can be provided by a good condition roads. Village roads have a very low volume of traffic consisting of rural transports like agriculture, tractors, trailers, light goods vehicles, buses, animal-drawn vehicles, motorized and two-wheelers, and cycles. Light and medium trucks carrying sugarcane, timber, quarry material, etc. The flexible pavements are also the flexible pavements require a The flexible pavements are used in village roads connected because of myth of the low initial cost of the construction. Due to high cost of maintenance, high sensitivity towards the waterlogging, and lack of institutional setup for their maintenance, their village roads deteriorates very fast, especially in the alluvial regions. Every year, several kilometers of the village roads are washed away by floods and waterlogging. Reed pavements can be a substitute of a flexible pavement for village roads. Reed pavements can also be an alternative to the flexible pavement where the soil strength is poor, aggregates are costly, and the drainage conditions are bad. Flexible pavements require periodical renewals to maintain the good condition of the surface after a certain period. In Uttar Pradesh, we have 8 years this cycle, but it is hardly possible to provide. Before 2004, IRC 58 was available for design of rigid pavement for all types of the road, but in 2004, IRC SP 62 2004 was especially introduced for the design and construction of the cement concrete pavement for village roads. The IRC SP 62 categorized the pavement as a dead end and through roads with following specifications: width for dead end roads 3 meters and through roads for 3.75 meters, single wheel load, design single wheel load 30 kilonewton for the dead end roads and 51 kilonewtons for the through roads. Tire pressure 0.5 Newton per mm square for the dead end roads, 0.7 Newton per mm square for the through roads. Minimum grade of concrete is specified M30 in both the cases, and the thickness of PQC, pavement quality concrete, 15 centimeters in each case, lean concrete 10 centimeters in each case, or life 20 years. These are the two sections given where for through roads and dead end roads we have this lean concrete and this pavement quality concrete, and in between the 125 micron of PVC separation layer in both the cases. Changes required for RC specification. The separation layer of 125 micron thick polyethylene sheets between lean concrete as a base and pavement quality concrete as a wearing surface to reduce the friction without taking the structural advantage of the LC layer. Minimum grade of concrete specified in the grid pavement is M30, such high grade concrete is not easy to achieve in the villages and remote areas because of the requirement of the fully modernized mode of construction. You know, we have a 1 hour in the alluvial regions, we have a 1 hour, 2 kilometer, some roads 0.5 kilometers, and we have no such infrastructure. So to provide these mechanized routes, small contractors are available. So this is a very important point, which grade of concrete which we can apply easily. An attempt is made to consider the combined effect of the lean concrete and the PQC, removing the separation layer between lean concrete and the proven quality concrete. Cost comparison also made between the composite rigid pavement and the plain concrete pavement, and found that it reduces significantly. These are the two cross sections where we have removed the separation layer, and we see that we have reduced the thickness in the dead end road from 15 to 10 centimeters of PQC, and thickness of PQC in the through roads 20 centimeter to 15 centimeter, which ultimately reduce the cost. These are this figure illustrates that they will with unbounded phenomena adopted in the construction of, in the design of the pavement. Lean concrete, if there is unbound between lean concrete and pavement quality concrete, this upper one is showing the stress distribution, mode of stress distribution, and the second is showing the if the bonded phenomena is applied. The design steps composite pavement are similar to the steps of IRC SP 62/2004 as the stress calculated due to the wheel loads and temperature variation with the help of the equation given in the code on the basis of Westergaard method. The same equations are used here. The temperature variation of IRC code for different regions and slab thickness is shown in here. There are in the Zone 1, Punjab, UP, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Haryana, North MP, excluding the hilly regions and coastal regions, they have given. And the second is the Bihar, Bengal, West Bengal, Assam, and Orissa, and they have given. This temperature is between top and bottom of the pavement. Sir, the temperature variations are assumed linear across the thickness of the pavement, but actually it is non-linear. So many papers are available, work from the this IIT Kharagpur and this CRRI. The distribution is non-linear, it is proved. And so we can reduce 70% this variation value. The stresses introduced in the pavement at the edges, interior, and corners are considered. The critical condition occur when the wheel load is placed at the edges. Maximum variation in the temperature takes place during the daytime between 12 to 4 p.m. During this period, the chances of the vehicles having single axle of 30 kilonewton and 50 kilonewton passing through the village roads are rare. We have conducted the survey in the UP, some different districts in UP. A maximum stress due to the temperature variations and the wheel load occurring simultaneously is almost not possible. When the temperature variation is maximum, which provide the tensile stresses in the bottom, at that time there is a rare chance of passing of the heavy vehicles. Pavement slab is laid over the LC without separation layer and assumed bounded with the base concrete. A reduction in the flexural strength in the pavement possible, which ultimately will reduce the thickness of the pavement slab. The modulus of subgrade reduction K has been derived from the relationship between IRC code with CBR values. There is given the K value cannot be easily tested in the field. So we have relationship between CBR and K value in the code, and we have several CBRs in the different regions, and we have taken this statistical value by standard means, standard deviation. The general CBR value has been derived with the result of CBR tested by the Quality Promotion Cell UP Piruri Lucknow conducted for the different alluvial regions throughout the state by statistical method. This general CBR value found to be 5% of and corresponding K value is 4.2 kg per centimeter cube. The traffic survey conducted in the Bareilly and Shahjahanpur districts of Uttar Pradesh and observed that 4 to 5 heavy vehicles pass over such routes in a week, and that not in the daytime, that between 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Fast vehicles such as motorcycles, tractors, jeeps, cars, and low-speed vehicles like bullock cars, rickshaw, etc. are passing through the peak period. This is the relationship for the equivalent to getting the equivalent thickness of the lean concrete in the terms of the PQC. This is the formula based on the models of elasticity of the lean concrete and the PQC. The thickness of pavement and PQC laid over M10 concrete. The design composite rigid pavement without separation layer between LCA and based on PQC is carried out. The design parameters considered as under like that stated before. This equivalent thickness calculated 89 mm, but we have taken here 80 mm. And this the thickness of composite pavement for the dead end road is 180 mm, and the composite for the through roads it is 230 mm. On the basis of that, we have calculated the stresses, and we found that for dead end road, at the edges we have total stresses 3.2 Newton per mm square against 3.75 Newton per mm square permissible stress. At interior we have got 3.54 Newton per mm square against 3.75 Newton per mm square. At corner we have 2.26. Similarly, in the case of the through routes, we have 3.17 Newton per mm square against 3.755 because we have used here M20 grade concrete. If interior 2.41 and at corner 2.5 Newton per mm. We have compared the cost. The cost comparison, we have seen that in the dead end road, we have overall cost is for the concrete pavement, plain concrete pavement design based on the SP62. That is around 40.18 lakhs, and for the composite it is 31.58 lakhs, and ultimate saving of 21.39%. Similarly, for the composite pavement for through roads, we have cost of the plain concrete pavement 59.99660 lakhs, where we have got composite cement concrete pavement 48.58 lakhs, ultimate saving of 19.02%. We have drawn the figure between stress, pavement thickness, and models of subgradiation K. And we see that this is the for through roads, and the design curve showing that variation of the stress pavement thickness for different K values are as shown in figure. The dead end and through valley roads respectively, it can be seen that that induced stresses in the pavement are almost same for the K value beyond the 6. The total the total stress in the composite pavement on the subgrade having K value as low as 2. Even, even for 100 mm thickness pavement is less than the permissible value. Thus, utilizing the composite effect of the pavement, it will be economical even in the low in the poor soil subgrade. The design of composite pavement without separation layer between LC and PQC is carried out, and observe that the advantage composite pavement is appreciable. The lean concrete below the concrete slab increases the strength of the pavement, and consequently thickness of the slab can reduce. The minimum grade of concrete used can be reduced by M20 in place of M30. It is found that the composite pavement is safe even for the smallest value of the modulus of subrogation, K 2.1 kg per centimeter cube, is specified by the IRC SP 62 2004. The concept of the composite effect of the LC and PQC may be very useful in alluvial region having poor soil strength. It has been found that the composite rigid pavement is economical by 21.39% and 90% than the PCP for dead end and through roads, respectively. These are the references which we have used in our study, and I found that this especially where we have a very poor, low budget for the, as Chairman expressed, in the states for the village connectivity, and we have and there are high demand of this type of road, and if we provide economical road for the village roads, it ultimately serves the purpose for the mankind. Being in the key post on the UP, we are thinking about this system, and if it is followed in the other regions, it will provide a better means of communication for the village road. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Srivastava. I request my esteemed colleague, co-chairman, Mr. Satish from the Highway Research Institute in Chennai to offer his comments. So, what is paper?
Thank you, Chairman. It has been a nice presentation, an interesting work at field. But one thing what interests me is the heavy vehicles in rural roads in UP has been found only to be 4 to 5 in a week's time. We find, maybe in Tamil Nadu, I am happy and proud to share the information that the rural connectivity is really good and the quality of the roads are also really good, where we find abundant movement of the vehicles which carry agricultural products, maybe sugarcane, paddy, and whenever there is a river bank, we find high intensity of movement of sand or the building materials that are being raw materials that have been taken to building sites. So we find the challenge rather there at such locations are the high intensity of heavily loaded vehicles moving in a narrow space in poor soil conditions, and lack of drainage quite often results in frequent distress on the roads. Whereas here we find that the movement of heavy vehicles are slightly low in number, and there is an appreciable savings whenever there is as suggested by the author, between PCC and composite concrete pavement. We think whether the solution could be extended to regions where there are high intensity traffic movement in rural roads also. I think these are my comments, sir.
Thank you very much. Before we move to the next paper, we'll take the questions at the end for both the papers together. This, I have a few wrapping up comments to offer. The paper itself says study of composite effect of concrete base in rigid pavement for village roads in alluvial region. So it's mainly for alluvial region. So alluvial soil and poor drainage are the main factors cited for this investigation. Poor drainage conditions, I think, need to be made a very defined and prominent ingredient of the design parameters for further investigation. And I think now that the eminent author is an engineer-in-chief in the department himself, I think field trials are worth initiating in some areas through report to validate and vet what has been done in this paper by field investigation and report it to all of us. So thank you very much, and we will now move to the second paper. The second paper is by Ms. Professor Vandana Tare from SITS Indore. It is on pavement deterioration modeling for low volume roads. It's been exhaustively investigated, very detailed surveys and data collection done from April 2007 to November 2009, over 2.5 years, on 10 village roads very carefully, and the selection seems to be scientific. And the conclusions, we'll come to conclusions and our comments on conclusions once she concludes. So I request Professor Tare to commence her presentation and take half an hour, please.
So, good afternoon, everybody. Respected chairman and co-chairman. So, first of all, I am thankful to IRC that they have given me a chance to interact you learned persons. And this, my paper, is based on rural road pavement performance study, a research project sponsored by NRRDA, New Delhi. So as you all know that PMGSY is working lot in the area of village roads. So the system what they have developed is very good, because I am STA Indore, so I have observed the system which they have developed, in which 4-tier quality control system they have developed. That is, the engineers of the department, then SQC, the consultant, and SQM, NQM, all are there, and they are observing the quality of the road. So we are getting very good quality road in the villages all over MP and other states. So in MP, we are 3-4 STAs are there, Jabalpur, Bhopal, and Indore. So we are looking the area nearby Indore, that is Jhabua, Ratlam, Dhar, Indore, etc. So in this project, we have taken the roads of nearby MP in the MP area, nearby Indore, that is Jhabua, Dhar, and Indore. These roads we have taken. So in PMGSY, they took roads which the villages, the roads connecting the villages which are having the population 1,000 and 1,500. In second phase, 500 to 1,000 population. In third phase, 250 to 500 population. So they are constructing the road. since last 10 years. But what about maintenance? This is big question. Although they have given the this to the contractor that they have to maintain, still the factors are affecting the maintenance. That is the type of soil, the rainfall, and traffic, whatever is coming. So this study is regarding these factors which I have considered, and for maintenance purpose, how to take the prioritization the roads. That is, priority is given to those roads which are having some index which I have developed. So the title of my work is Pavement Deterioration Modeling for Low Volume Roads. So you all know that rural road connectivity is a key component of rural development by promoting access to economic and social services, and thereby generating increased agriculture incomes and productive employment opportunities in India. Various pavement performance studies have been conducted on national highway and state highways level, but very few studies have been carried out on performance of rural roads. The construction practices and traffic characteristics of rural roads are very much different from those for NH and SH. NH and SH में जहाँ बड़े-बड़े equipments use होते हैं, in rural roads it is constructed by local people and no big machinery is involved. That's why construction practices are different from national highway and state highway. The current study consists of pavement performance study of rural roads under PMGSY. In this study, what I did, that selection of 10 rural road sections in different regions based on rainfall, high rainfall, medium rainfall, low rainfall, soil type, different soil types, and pavement type, that is bituminous and cement concrete in MP. Collection of periodic performance data before monsoon and after monsoon, and traffic data in peak period and in normal period, that is after harvesting and when harvesting period is not there, that is peak and non-peak. Various distresses of rural roads, and as certain their causes for detailed distress survey. Distresses are there, that is rutting, then longitudinal depression and potholes, etc. These distresses are there that we have observed. Actually, we have ourselves gone there in the field and observed the details. Observe the trend of deterioration with time. With time, how it is deteriorating. That is 5 times we have taken the data, and with time how the deterioration is done, is there, that we have observed. Establish the regression equations between various parameters such as pavement condition index. This is interesting parameter. That is, I have included all the distresses and parameters which are affecting for the condition of road in pavement condition index. Then pavement age, that what is the age of that pavement, CVPD, commercial vehicle per day, annual rainfall, and subgrade moisture content. How I have selected the road. The test sections on 10 various roads have been selected on the basis of variations in condition of rainfall, less than 500 mm per year, 500 to 1000, and more than 1000. Soil type, gravelly and sandy. Sometimes it is silty, black cotton or clay, and muram. In nearby Indore area, there is a black cotton soil. Then pavement surface, that is bituminous surface or cement concrete road. These are the various roads which I have taken. That is R1 to R10, 10 types of road. Then in the district, name of road is there. So, and landmark chainage is there, length of, what is the length? So it is ranging from 1.8 to 8 kilometer. Then type of road, that is bituminous and all that. Type of soil for various roads, various soil type is there. And then rainfall is also varying as I have selected. These are the various roads on which we did the survey. So Bokadia approach road. So see the raveling, rain cuts on approaches and culverts, removing of seal coat is there. Then Bokadia approach road, removing of seal coat is there. Then Bokadia approach road. Then longitudinal rain cuts on shoulders. It is also observed on some of the roads. Then Akola approach road, that is raveling and removal of seal coat. Then Guda approach road, improper shoulder width is less there, when potholes are there, big potholes. Then foreign material dumped in the potholes, that generally they are doing like this. So that we have observed on this road. Then Guda approach road, we are taking the thickness of potholes. Then Bilawali approach road, edge drop is there, lot of edge drop is there and is observed, and the accidents are there because of this edge drop. Then potholes, longitudinal cracking, raveling, edge failures are there. Bilawali approach road, this is the edge drop again. Then this road, longitudinal cracking, edge failure. Then Bilawali approach road, edge drop, edge failure. Ahir Khedi approach road, edge drop is there. On lot of road, edge drops are there. Ahir Khedi approach road, improper shoulder width, potholes, failure of shoulders, edge drop. Then this Pipliakur, this is the good road which you have observed during study. This is also there, edge drop is there. Now what data I have taken during my study? Old and new pavement composition. If old pavement is there, what is their composition? By digging the pavement, we have observed, or from the construction record, we get this. And new pavement also by construction record. Then general details such as new construction, upgradation, some roads are upgradation, and some are new construction. Then rainfall, maximum, minimum temperature, groundwater table, binder properties. What type of binder they have used, their properties, that is penetration, softening point, etc. General details of new road, that is embankment, side slope, carriageway, shoulder width, etc. Properties of shoulder material, that also we have taken. Properties of existing subgrade soil, properties of different WBM layers, and properties of subbase material. These are road inventory data which we have taken. For old pavement, crust details are there. For new pavement, crust details are there, subgrade, subbase, GSB, then WBM, and total thickness that I have given for different 10 roads. This is also there, upgradation, annual rainfall, or some new construction is there, then low minimum temperature, and month and or year of opening to traffic. कब ये road traffic के लिए open हुई, this also we have observed. Then binder properties, that is penetration, softening point, grade of bitumen, and all that. Then details of new road regarding the embankment, side slope, carriageway, and all that. Then properties of shoulder material, that is liquid limit, plasticity limit, field dry density, 4 days soaked CBR, that we have taken. Properties of existing subgrade, that we have taken. The sieve analysis we have done. Then this PI, OMC, MDD, unsoaked CBR, field density, and WBM for both layers, G2 and G3. This is G3, sieve analysis, and these sieve analysis and other properties. That then rating of drainage, rating of surface drainage. How is the surface drainage? It is poor or fair, or it is good. Then we have taken the general details of the road, that is type of surface, periodically, that is for different time of the year, for 5 times we have taken. The type of surface, condition of shoulders, effectiveness of surface drainage arrangement, Merlin roughness value in mm. Merlin is a very good equipment to find out the roughness, and it is very easy, one can drive it on the road. And direct cone penetrometer value, this also we have observed using an equipment, DCPT. Then this is a periodical data, that is length and type of section. Then type of shoulder, condition of shoulder, it is good, fair, or poor, that for different roads. The data were taken in January 8, June 8, November 8, May 9, and November 9. Then effectiveness of surface arrangement, if it is good, poor, or fair, that we have done. Merlin roughness value in mm, left side, right side, and average. So that we have taken mm. It is in mm, roughness in mm. Then DCPT value, 2 readings were taken, an average of that for different type of roads in mm per blow, because for every blow what is the depth in mm, that we have observed. Then after that the pavement condition survey was carried out, and these failures are observed. The rutting, longitudinal depression in the central portion of each subsection, central portion. Then cracking of surface layer, potholes, raveling, and edge drop, as you have seen in the different figures of photographs of different roads. So these are the various distresses, that is pavement condition, which is known as pavement condition survey. So for various types of roads, rutting is observed, that is in mm. For some road it is nil, that is if it is cement concrete road, R5 road, it is nil. Then longitudinal depression in the central portion of each subsection, that is given in mm again. Then cracking of surface layer in percentage, it is given in percentage, that how much percentage is the cracking of total road. Then road section, of course. Potholes again in percentage. If more here, as we know that how much time is passed for this road, कब ये रोड बनाई गई थी, तो टाइम ईयर हमको मालूम है. Then annual rainfall and subgrade moisture content for various roads. So PCI values from table as shown before, 16.9, 15.6 and all that. Time in year, how much time have passed after construction of that road. CVPD from table, annual rainfall, because the road selection is based on rainfall only. Then subgrade moisture content. So 2 to this percentage is there. So these are the equations. So for road 1, R1, this is the equation. R2, this is the equation. On see the coefficient of correlation, where x1, x2, x3, x4 are the various parameters which I have given before. That is, these are the parameters. These condition of shoulders and this effective and this, all these parameters are there. No, sorry, time in air x1, the CVPD x2, annual rainfall is x3, and subgrade moisture content are x4. And Y is the PCI, which contains all the distresses. So I have taken into account all the parameters, that is in PCI, the distresses, and for independent variables, that is x1, x2, x3, the time in year and CVPD and other parameters. So these are the equations. Then combined equations have also been developed for three districts, that is for Jhabua, Indore and Dhar. Again parameters are same, that Y is PCI, x1, x2, x3, x4 are CVPD and other parameters, time in year and other parameters. Now what are the conclusions? The main distresses identified in the rural areas are rutting, longitudinal depression, cracking of surface layer, potholes, edge drop and roughness. Raveling was found to be absent on the selected sections. That is on concrete road, it is not there. A few numbers of potholes are observed on some places of the road section due to poor drainage and construction quality. Regression equations developed between pavement condition index, which includes condition of shoulder, surface drainage, Merlin roughness, DCP value of shoulder, rutting, longitudinal depression and edge drop, and time elapsed, commercial vehicle per day, annual rainfall and subgrade moisture content will give better idea about performance of pavement with time. Based on PCI value, priority of maintenance work may be decided. That is, if the PCI value is less, that means the condition is poor. If it is more, then condition is good. So if one can find out the PCI value of particular pavement, if that particular equation is there, these equations can be developed for other states also, so that if the parameters, the time of construction and CVPD and all that are known to you, then you can find out the PCI value. And based on PCI, one can decide the priority of maintenance work, that which road is taken first for maintenance, and the ranking for priority can be done. So I am thankful to NRRDA New Delhi for sponsoring the research project Rural Road Pavement Performance Study to our institute. And I did this project for 3 years and took the data and in the field. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Professor Tare. The conclusions are quite eye-opening. That is, traffic observed on selected roads is very low. Hence, traffic has least influence on the performance of or deterioration of rural roads. Hence, the main causes for the distress of rural roads is drainage and construction quality and non-prioritized maintenance. So PCI-based maintenance prioritization, pavement condition index-based prioritization of maintenance, as we know, has been need of the hour since long. The roots of the problem, as those who have been in the road sector since long know, is the undesirable distinction between plan and non-plan, non-plan funds and non-plan funds, where plan funds get all the attention from every point of view, from technical point of view, maintenance point, supervision point of view, implementation point of view, but the non-plan funds under which maintenance comes takes the second priority and relatively neglected. So we must thank her for a very good paper, and the aptness of weightages accorded are to be vetted by field trials. But both these causes identified, that is construction quality and ad hoc maintenance without there being a maintenance policy, are to be well taken by all of us. And it's high time every state evolved a PCI-based prioritization of maintenance of all roads. There have been quite a few questions I have received. What I'll do, these are for paper number 587. I will read them. I'll read them, and Dr. Srivastava, wherever he feels necessary, wherever questions are there, he can answer them. Wherever comments are there, they can be taken by us as comments and which don't require to be answered. These are 587. I will not call them on the stage because that will take time. Mr. Sridhar, Project Director, Project Implementation Unit from Vijayawada. He said the paper seems to indicate the savings that may be possible due to reduction in materials. as the study is based on traffic and soil conditions in alluvial regions, similar if not more economy may be possible in other soils like laterite. Can there be a theoretical and empirical solution possible for this? I will read Dr. Srivastava and you can answer them one by one.
Yes, this is the, you see on the paper, everything is based on the modulus of subgrade reaction. Even up to 2.1 modulus of Newton kg per centimeter cube modulus of subgrade reaction, it is safe. So it can be and it can be useful. Thank you.
Kindly remain there. I will read all the comments. There's one by Pushpita Mondal, Senior Manager, New Delhi. Pushpita Mondal says, very good subject to publish the paper. As I'm working on rural road maintenance for Assam, for new technique involvement from rural road, the two papers enhanced my knowledge. You are most welcome, and that's what these sessions are meant to do, enhance our knowledge. There is one by Ravi Shankar from Punjab, Senior Bridge Engineer, Louis Berger. He says, point 1, can this system be applied in case of existing flexible pavements which is damaged? What will be the method of fixing the value of modulus of subgrade reaction K? Second is, how you have decided that heavy vehicles will not pass over the pavement at the peak hours of temperature variation?
Yeah. It is possible for the pavement which are existing and damaged. As I have stated in my paper, that there is a poor infrastructure for maintenance of the road. Roads are damaged. We can apply this theory in existing pavement because the modulus of subgrade reaction can be calculated on the basis of this Benkel-Main beam deflection relationship with the modulus of subgrade reaction. We required base. As we see in the code, we have also relationship with the GSB or WBM with the K value. You see code, and that can be possible for the existing low traffic volume, especially in the village road. Another question, which also co-chairman has raised, how you have decided the peak hours? You know, the survey is conducted in Uttar Pradesh. The Uttar Pradesh is physically divided in two parts. One is the southern, that is the conditions lie like Tamil Nadu, as co-chairman explained. In the northern Uttar Pradesh, we have alluvial region. In alluvial region, we have hardly direct connectivity of 1 to 2 kilometers, even at 500. We have a 500-meter village connectivity. So, we in the northern Uttar Pradesh, the only crops in the harvesting period, like grains or sugar cane, can carry from these roads. The mode of operandi of the carriage, the farmers took their yield by tractors to the centers, and from centers it go through the other roads, ODR, MDR. So village connect the traffic, especially traffic only pass in the nights or the evening or the morning, not in the peak hours. So it is a real survey done in the when I was superintendent in that region. Officially it is done, and it is possible that mostly it is possible that the 5.1 ton wheel load pass only in the night, not in the day. Thank you.
Mr. Mishra, Superintending Engineer, Public Works Department, UP, says the paper is excellent as it deals with village roads, which are nowadays becoming of much importance and cost-effective due to their length and number. By combining both the layers of rigid pavement, that's PQC and DLC, without separation layer is a good idea. There is one by Mr. Srivastava of Bharatiya Rashtriya Rajmarg, and he says issue of concrete grade. That's all he has written. And there is one Dr. Rakesh Kumar. Rakesh Kumar, principal CRI, from CRRI. Dr. Rakesh Kumar says the strength of LC generally varies between 5 to 7 MPa. Why LC 10 MPa has been used? The competition, the compaction of LC yields a smooth surface. What was done to ensure bonding between two layers, that is, and PQC? If these two layers works as one, then whatever hole depth was considered for study of points.
So far this combined effect, IRC 58 2011 has also given this combined effect. This white topping coat is also given this. If the separation layer is removed, the function of the load transfer, I have shown in my paper that the similar as the PQC as the DLC. You can go through that. But so there is no doubt that the load transfer, the PQC and DLC can be different.
Shall I go ahead?
Yes, I'm just telling. Another the question is that poor lean concrete. In poor lean concrete, we cannot provide even if there is a lean concrete, IS 456 is now given lean concrete M15. So below M10 lean concrete, no more lean concrete.
What I suggest, kindly interact with him during lunch. Please go ahead.
Even if you go through code, this GSB is also used for the as a lean concrete, in place of lean concrete, to improve the K. You go through that. Next.
Mr. Govind Bansal Jaiswal, he says, in village road, rigid pavement essential, but with drainage also needed, which has not been done properly. That's a comment.
Drainage is essential. If there is no drainage, then pavement will damage.
Muhammad Noor from Lucknow, executive engineer. He says, when LC and PQC will be combined, the LC cracks will be developed. In LC, cracks will be developed. And due to cracks in LC, reflecting cracks may occur in PQC, then what precaution will be taken to avoid reflective cracks in PQC?
Prevent. I think this is the matter of further investigation. Since we are only dealing with the design and construction, it is rather failure and this maintenance problem that can be either by providing overlay, rigid overlay or rigid base, that can be further increase the capacity. If there is crack, that is a failure.
I request Mr. Ajay Divakar of Bhopal, Mr. Swapan Mujumdar of Kolkata, and Mr. Raghavendra Prasad of Bangalore to kindly interact with the author during lunchtime, as we'll go to the paper number 590, the questions and comments pertaining to paper 590, as we have only 10 minutes left. Manzoor Hussain, Executive Engineer J&K, Jammu and Kashmir, on paper 590, he says study of hill roads needs to be carried out. Most of roads fail due to slips, but consideration of slip is not taken into account for maintenance purpose. However, paper very helpful for rural roads. I'll read. Study of hill roads needs to be carried out. Most of roads fail due to slips, but consideration of slip is not taken into account for maintenance purpose. However, paper very helpful and rural roads. He is from J&K, so for him,
As
slip
I
is a
already
big
told
problem.
that other states must take this type of study for maintenance purpose. That is, priority is given to which road. So this is comment sort of.
It's a comment.
Yes, sir.
Leslie Joseph Suresh Kumar, Chief Engineer from the Corporation of Chennai, says the paper was an excellent one for rural roads. Discussion has to take place for urban roads. PCI, etc. for urban roads have to be evolved. Well, I just have a small comment when the very word urban raises a storm of thinking in my mind, because I have been advisor to a municipal corporation in Karnataka. Ever since P.V. Narasimha Rao conferred constitutional government status on urban local bodies and panchayats, panchayats have gone full steam ahead to realize their responsibility and take the responsibility. But urban local bodies, I'm very sorry to say, have miserably failed in realizing that they are a constitutional government and they have to take responsibility. So, but your comment is very correct that PCI for urban roads also has to be done. We have no representative here from urban local bodies. Ganga Reddy from Andhra Pradesh, Superintending Engineer, Khammam, he says, in BC soils and alluvial soils with same type of grade subbase, rigid pavements are badly damaged as compared to flexible pavements by forming longitudinal cracks. First one or 2 years, at least in submersible condition. Only undulations are formed in flexible pavement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is there. For black cotton soil, the rigid pavement is preferred. In our Indore city area, urban area, they are now constructed because there is a black cotton soil in MP and in nearby Indore area. So they are constructing lot of rigid pavement in city portion also. Nowadays the trend is towards the rigid pavement.
Kripal Singh, Chief Engineer retired from Uttaranchal, Dehradun, he says, repair modalities of pavement per annum, especially during monsoon seasons, frequency of patch repairs and its material may be clarified. Edge drop for single lane road is very hazardous. How it will be prevented? Well, these are his comments.
Edge drop can be prevented by making good shoulders, and the shoulders, the material of shoulders should be such that during the traffic, if it is compacted, then more edge drop will be there. And during the construction of cement concrete pavement, the care must be taken that there should not be edge drop, otherwise the accidents will be there.
Mr. Swapan Mujumdar, Chief Engineer retired from Kolkata, has a comment that in alluvial soil conditions, shoulders and drainage on both sides increase the life of pavements. Very true.
Yes, this is very true.
Very true. Mr. G.S. Burli, Assistant Executive Engineer from Karnataka. He says, 1. Pavement deterioration on PMGSY roads are substantially covered. 2. Importance on maintenance and shoulders could have been covered in depth as well as on pavement.
Yes.
Mr. Sharma, Executive Engineer from MP RRDA, says where diversion is not available during construction of rigid pavement, what measures should be taken?
Diversions.
Where diversion is.
Yes, yes. Diversion is essential for rigid pavement. Otherwise, what will happen that during curing period, if the vehicle moves or some, if any animal is moving, then the impression on rigid pavement is there, and that impression is as it is after construction or after curing period. So that gives very bad impression on the part of this engineers as well as on contractor, that what is the condition of road during construction. Care is not being taken, so this must be taken care of during construction.
Mr. K.C. Sharma, consultant from Jaipur, Rajasthan, says 1. Cost to the road user in terms of time taken to travel a unit of 0 to 5 kilometers, 5 to 10 kilometers, etc. should be investigated and analyzed. 2. The inadequacy of the crust vis-a-vis the increasing axle loads be correlated to PCI. 3. The need for extra width of carriageway as the number of wheels increase. 4. There have been NQM for Jabua and Dhar and have experience on these roads.
Yes, the PMGS, they have decided the width of road as 3 meter or sometimes it is 3.5 meter. If the width of road increases, then the cost also increases. So this work is basically on rural roads, not for the urban road. If for urban road this type of study is done, then other parameters are to be taken into account.
Mr. Jamdar AEMMRDE has a comment on paper 590 that its presentation with too many details, indexes and figures.
Thank you.
Control issue was missing. The material quality index should have been considered as part of different equations described in the paper.
Yes.
It has been brought in. You have brought it.
So thank you, audience, for carefully listening the paper and giving so much of attention to the paper. Thank you again.
I request my esteemed colleague and co-chairman to offer his comments. You can take this.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman. With the clock ticking and lunch waiting, I know it is quite a hard time to bargain, but I am quite excited about paper number 590 because I have some interesting information both for Dr. Vandana Tare and the audience. The state of Tamil Nadu has already spearheaded towards making a decision-based support system for identifying priorities for maintenance. Because financial crunches are there for allocation, there needs to be a need-based decision to be made while prioritizing the road. There has been a wide coverage of data. The ruggedness of any model depends upon the wide variability in the data or the wide variability in the selection criteria. The annual rainfall varies very widely, and land use has been considered, which is always a spoil sport in case of the condition of the road. That has been taken into account. while there is no much movement in CVPD, it is very, very gradual or minimal. Groundwater depth variation has also not been very wide. The combined equation has considered all the aspects in determining the PCI quality index, the pavement quality index. The state of Tamil Nadu has procured 2 equipments, advanced data collection equipments with the assistance of World Bank, and we have been collecting continuous data on pavement condition. Laser based system, which is which is mobile, vehicle borne system, which is mobile throughout the state, continuously collecting information. This information is being transferred to a main server, madam, and that data is being pulled into a software which is dedicated for maintaining the priority using SDM techniques, using SDM tool that has been taken into account. We develop a regression index based on which priority list is being rolled out, and for various constraints, for various budget constraints, free, all budget is available based on need. There is one strategic model. Again, there is a crunch in the finance. Then there is one model. There is a severity index. For that, the one model is developed. So we have such rugged models also being developed. Apart from that, the Laboratory of IVA Research Station is also taking up a similar study where we have collected nearly 90 stretches, 90 stretches of varying conditions. My only comment would be like there has been a good historical data collection. Maybe instead of Merlin, you will move over to IRI, International Roughness Index. That would be more, because Merlin is a very primitive equipment. Maybe because the stretches are quite, 500 meters or 200 meters, 0.2 kilometers, maybe they could have chosen Merlin. And one more comment is, they have selected subgrade moisture content as one of the conditions. Maybe CBR, which is more dominant, and that could have been. And there is no mention about the renewal, periodical renewal or maintenance that has been taken up. Nearly some 4 or 5 years data collection is there, 4 years data collection is there. Has there been any maintenance in between has not been accounted for. So these are my comments. A very exhaustive paper. This could be a wonderful subject where the decision, instead of continuously maintaining routine maintenance, this could be just a makeover. There is a shift. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
I must thank the esteemed authors who presented so painstakingly prepared papers. I must thank my co-chairman who has made his learned comments, because his post in which he is now in Highway Research Institute has its own hallowed history in the Madras HRI. It is a very recognized institute, part of the government department. And I have only one comment to wrap up. Those who have been both engineers and also in decision-making powers like secretaries and above, principal secretaries, etc. We know that when plan works are to be taken up, or externally assisted major works are to be taken up, costing in thousands of crores, strategic option studies are done, voluminous studies are done before we decide to deploy the money on a project. There is no ad hocism in that. If there is ad hocism, we won't get assistance, soft loan assistance from anywhere in the world. But once the projects are over and they are our own and the agencies have receded into background, when we have to maintain them, as I said, with non-planned funds, we yet have to go a long way in insisting that we will maintain roads based on PCI prioritization. And I would very earnestly like to suggest that the days are not far away that the department, that the governments will be subjected to questions by people how the non-planned funds, maintenance funds were utilized. Because prioritizing based on PCI for maintenance is not just a technical necessity. It leads to optimization of funds and transparency. In ad hocism, everything is opaque. Once the budget is passed in the end of February, the non-planned funds are something that the departments have at their disposal to remove this opacity and bring in transparency and to optimize the funds and spend where necessary and not spend where not necessary. PCI-based prioritization of road maintenance is the only solution. So I thank both the authors for having presented excellent papers, and we won't stand any more between you and the lunch. Thank you very much. दे रहे हैं? हाँ बताए, अनाउंस कीजिए। कहाँ है, आ रहे हैं क्या? हाँ करेंगे, वो बाद में करके दूंगा, मैं कल दे दूंगा।
Hello. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here I would like to call upon stage Mr. V.K. Das, Chief Engineer, Border Roads and NEC Work, Assam PWD, to give away the mementos to our authors, Dr. R.K. Srivastava and Dr. Vandana Tare.
People will start questioning us pretty soon. 300, 400 crores of maintenance grants and not to be used as a beam.
Again, I request Mr. B.K. Das, Chief Engineer, Border Roads and NEC Works, Assam PWD, to give away the momentum to Chairman G.C. Talur. So again, I request you to give away the memento to Shri S. Satish, Co-Chairman. Thank you so much, all our delegates. Now you can enjoy your lunch outside. Thank you so much.
काय म्हटलं तुम्ही? धारवाड, कर्नाटकात धारवाड म्हणून आहे, बेळगावच्या जवळ, तिथे राहतो मी.
We are going to do some solution.
येतो एकदा इंदोरला. देवास आहे तिथे. Your husband is there? देवास आहे ना जवळ. देवासात तुम्ही देवास आहात? हा. आमचे कुमार गंधर्व होते की आमचे कुमार गंधर्व तिथे होते कर्नाटकचे. हा, येतो एकदा जरूर.
Hello.
पक्का आहे. चला, काय करता तुमच्या तुमच्या कॉलेजमध्ये आहेत?
आधी आमच्या कॉलेजमध्ये